Hi, wonderful assessment community. Because I couldn't attend today's session, I've created a few slides to highlight some quality improvement tools and concepts that might be of interest to you. These are multicultural tools that originated in Japan. Okay, cue the music. Konnichiwa! So I'd like to introduce you and acknowledge our wonderful project team. And here's just a bit about why we selected this project. I don't have a lot of time to go through this, but we drew it from several sources to find this project. So this is the first concept I want to talk to you about today, and that's Kaizen, a Japanese word constructed from two ideographs, the first of which represents change, and the second goodness or virtue. Kaizen is commonly used to indicate progressive long-term betterment of something. And we used a Kaizen event to address food safety and health equity. So I wanted to make 2 points here. First, prepare your team as to what to expect. And Kaizen commandments, FAQs, and event charter can really be helpful there. And second, gather and analyze data that could be helpful during the event, both quantitative and qualitative. And what did our data show? Well, our Voice of the Customer survey showed that 31% responded there are cultural barriers that make it difficult for a food service operator or staff to comply with the food code. And 50% responded the language creates barriers that make it difficult also. And then most importantly, we found that the average mean red violation points for non-English and ESL establishments was 27.79 versus for English-speaking operators 18.33%. So, did we have a blast? Well, there's nothing like getting away from your usual routine to get energized. So I'm going to play you a short video that Wanda Williams did for us on the event. And one of the things I'd like to emphasize is even those team members who were resistant to this event were totally won over after day one, and they acknowledged how valuable it was for them to participate and really to be heard. This shows all of the ideas that came out of the Kaizen and a tentative implementation timeline. And this is our Kaizen parking lot with a lot more great ideas. Which brings me to the second concept. We take our brilliant Kaizen event ideas and apply them in the Gemba, the real place where we work. This is where change management and perseverance come in, because even those who offered up ideas are still sometimes resistant to change. Which brings me to the third concept, the Kanban. The Kanban is very useful in keeping track of the Kaizen ideas that are to be implemented in the Gemba. The Kanban makes your work easier. The Kanban rules. All you need is a fancy or a makeshift board, some post-it notes, and a pen or two. We ordered a very big Kanban to keep everything very visible. You can't ignore this Kanban. And you can see it's very visible, allows you to put to do, doing, and done items, so everyone's aware of what's going on with the project. Here are some things that we completed. And here are some tasks that are still in progress, the first two being the most important in connection with our focus on health equity. We're laminating, copying FDA oral culture learner project materials for distribution by field inspectors. And we're utilizing interpreters during inspections via telephone and during follow-up visits in person to assure correction of food code violations. Some things still on our 60 to 90 day list, and this is our parking lot. And what we learned. And very important, a Kaizen event provides a focused activity that empowers staff to make their perspective known. And implementation of Kaizen ideas in the Gemba takes perseverance and dedicated time. If you'd like more information on our project or on these tools, you can contact me at sloan@whatcomcounty.us. Thanks for listening, awesome assessment community.